Hey guys, I've come to realize that for most of my life, I've tried to change what was going on around me so I could feel differently on the inside. I've tried to influence relationships just so I could have peace. I've tried to achieve more so I could feel more valuable. And more recently, I spent the last few years trying to rebuild my business by moving people around, changing systems, adjusting roles, trying to get all the pieces in the right places. But I was resisting the one place I probably needed to step back into myself, the field. That's when I started seeing the bigger pattern. A lot of us are trying to change our lives from the outside in. We think that if people around us would change, we'd finally have peace, right? If we accomplished enough, we'd finally feel valuable. If we fixed the business, found the right people, created the right system, then everything inside of us would finally settle down. But real transformation usually works the other way. It starts on the inside. What we're living from, where we find our identity, whether we're living from pressure or whether we're living from peace, whether we're trying to prove something or whether we're actually aligned with who we're becoming. That's what I mean by living inside out. And honestly, this is not something I have all figured out yet. It's something I'm living out right now. So for the last few years, I've been trying to rebuild my business. I've made all kinds of plans, changed systems, put in new promotions, moved people into different roles, tried to pull all the right strings. And some of it was probably needed, but eventually I had to be honest with myself. I was trying to create momentum from outside the activity. I was trying to get the business moving without fully stepping back into the place where the business actually happens, sitting with families, making presentations, producing sales, working with people while doing the work beside them. And I finally had to ask myself a pretty uncomfortable question. What if the first piece that needed to move was me? What if rebuilding the business didn't begin with getting everyone else to do something different? What if it began with me becoming the example again? Now that hit me hard because I realized this wasn't just a business issue. It was a life pattern. Trying to influence people so I could have peace, trying to accomplish more so I could feel valuable, trying to move everything around me so I could feel more secure inside. And that's outside in living. Living inside out means I start somewhere else. It means I stop making other people responsible for my peace. I stop asking achievement to tell me I matter. I stop believing that once everything around me changes, I'll finally feel right on the inside. Instead, I start asking better questions. What am I living from? Fear or faith? Pressure or peace? The need for approval or a real sense of identity? Am I trying to earn my value or am I learning to live from the value I already have? And am I asking other people to do something that I've been resisting myself? So for me, going back into the field is not a step backward, it's a step into alignment. It's me leading from the front again. It's me becoming part of the momentum I've been trying to create. And again, I don't have all this mastered or figured out. I'm still seeing the layers. I'm still noticing how often I try to managing what's happening outside of me so I can feel better inside of me. But I'm seeing it more clearly now, and I'm choosing a different way. And that's the journey that I want to share, not as somebody who's arrived, just as somebody who's learning to live from identity, live from peace, and learning to live from faith and alignment. For most of my life, I lived outside in. Now I'm learning to live from the inside out. And if any of this sounds familiar to you, I'd love for you to follow the journey with me.